Oh, okay. That's fine though, because you can do a lot of stuff in chat, and that's fine. There you go. Nice. Okay, so once Amanda gets back, then we'll go over the fun stuff.
Okay,
Not a problem.
back. We're good.
So, Harried and Hillsfar is a first-level adventure. It is a Rage of Demons adventure. So just so in case you want to record this and stuff, and we'll work on all that later. Each one of you may or may not have already have a faction. If you have a faction in mind, go ahead and just write that down. It doesn't matter, at least for now, because every one of you will have a hook associated with what that faction is, and they're all the same. So in this case, everyone is getting along peacefully as far as the faction goes. And they all say, yeah, go work with the Zentarum, go work with the Gauntlets of the Order of the Gauntlet and Lords of the Alliance. Everyone is happy, so they're all working together. I'm just giving you a little bit of a background. So as a DM, the reason why you guys are going to Hillsfar is to find out what is just going on. There are weird rumors. Your faction elders, they come and they approach you. And I'll look in your character sheets and see who's who, what, later. But your faction elders, they approach you and they say, hey, Hillsfar, guess what? There's weird stuff going on. There's vague and bizarre rumors that we really want you to go and investigate. Find out if there's anything strange out there. And if there is anything strange that you encounter, just investigate it completely. And of course, we know that's code for, trespass, kill, and steal. But investigate it completely, and then return back to us and let us know what you find. And keep in mind that there are going to be other faction members that are going to be investigating. Please don't impede their investigations or interrupt them, because, we are all assisting each other, and we all want to, find out what's happening in Hillsfar. So before you all set out to Hillsfar, do you guys know what's going on in Hillsfar? Meaning, do y'all know what Hillsfar is?
Oh, if I remember right, it's an area.
Quiz.
Yeah, it's a place where they hate other races other than humans, or hate humans other than other races.
Very close. Yes, it is a xenophobic society. Hillsfar has kind of resurged themselves and have claimed that the only people that are truly allowed to live within the city and to be part of their merchant class are humans. And all of those other free-loving races, we don't want them to have anything to do with our city, so we have expelled them. We're kind of tired of them, always looking down their noses at us and always telling us about their gods, and they don't understand that, we just want to be left alone and be who we are. So they have removed everybody from the city that's not human. So Hillsfar kind of has this reputation of being very xenophobic. So those of you, I haven't looked at your character sheets yet, because as pre-gens, I think we do have, we have a dwarf and a halfling and a half-elf, and Zurich is a mountain dwarf, and of course, oh man, look at all those V's and Y's and M's in there. Jason, you're killing me here.
Drivenmore.
Drivenmore. Oh, okay, just like your name. All right, I'll give you that. All right, that's a good one. And then we have Drivenmore, who's also the dwarf. So every one of you guys are looking at your faction elders going, oh, why are you sending us to Hillsfar? They don't like us. To which they reply, we don't want you to go into Hillsfar. We want you to investigate the countryside around Hillsfar, because there's weird things going on. So, with no further ado, you hitch a ride, get a couple of carts, rent a few horses for the journey, stay in a couple inns, get to know each other, which we'll do in just a second, and you make your way to the countryside of Hillsfar, where you do indeed find out that there are vague and bizarre rumors flying about. So, apart from the fact that on your journey to Hillsfar, some of the rumors that reach you range from leprechauns showering travelers with gold to undead armies terrorizing the Hillsfar farmsteads. There is definitely something weird going on. So you entertain yourselves with things that are not weird, like introducing yourselves. So, starting with Glenn Smith. Tell us who you are and just a little bit about how you know your background. Introduce yourself. Who are you? Go.
Alright, I'm Glenn Smith. I'm a dwarf from a local city. I'm making my way for adventure because I'm tired of being known as the bastard. My father was good to me, but it's time to leave.
Good job. All right, Amanda.
Okay, so my name is Tally. I'm a halfling rogue. I'm part of the Harbor Society. They've sent me on the mission to find out about these leprechauns and zombies in this area, and to also part of what my character does is some espionage work on the side, and she's very good at that. So we'll go with that.
Very good. Jax?
I'm Jax, I am not rogue anymore, a wizard. People know I'm quick with the spells and would be helpful for the mission.
Oh, you haven't set your prepared spells yet, so once you do that, go ahead and switch into combat mode, and you'll see what spells are available. So go ahead and do that while we go on with the rest of them. All right, Zurich. Oh, he's on mute. Zurich doesn't speak much. But apparently he's already got it in for the Red Plume Guards.
Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, great. Yes, I'm Zurich Orkslayer from Mirabar, and I'm a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, and I'm here to investigate what's going on in Hillsfar. And that's about all I have to say on that matter. And if you got something to say to me, take it up with me axe.
Awesome.
I get 2 prepared for level 1, right?
Say again?
I get 2 prepared spells for level 1?
Very, very probably. Let me fix that for you real quick. I just put in 4 just to get you going.
Oh.
There we go. All right, so now that you've got your magic missile and shield selected, when you go into combat mode, you can see that all of your spells are now set to be cast.
Okay.
Very cool. All right, so Drivenmore, who are you?
My name is Drivenmore. I am a cleric, a dwarf cleric from the Lord's Alliance, also sent to investigate what's going on around Hillsfar, and I'm making my way slowly but surely to Thandover to find some more information about me clan members, Gundren Tharden and Nundro Rockseeker.
So definitely the rumors of leprechauns have interested all of you guys in heading over to Hillsfar to find out what's going on. So just to give you a brief idea of what's happening, those are some of the rumors that you do see. But the one thing that everyone is talking about as you journey on into the countryside surrounding Hillsfar is the wildest rumor that you've heard so far, and that apparently it is true. All the non-human citizens within the walls of the city-state have been evicted. Dun, dun, dun. The only non-humans that are left in the city apparently are all slaves who fight at the arena, and the fights are to the death, it is said. Anyone not obviously human is turned away at the Hillsfar Gate, which is the only way into and out of the walled city. But you guys don't need to worry about that because you are investigating the countryside. So in your travels, you and your group, you find... There you go. Where's that from? Oh, I see what you did. You left-clicked and drug it. That's okay. In your travels, you and your group, you found a poor, suffering human on the road. He's dirty, emaciated, and obviously mad. His rantings, at first, they seem like just a bunch of gibberish of a shattered mind. But as the man is dying at your feet, you notice that something about his words struck a chord. They seem more of a prophecy than just prattle. And after some investigation, you learn that the madman's words, that they correspond to 5 locations in the Hillsfar area. So certainly it cannot hurt to investigate, right? So even though this man that you've encountered on the road, and they just kind of throw this in here because remember this is a first level introductory adventure. So as you're traveling to Hillsfar, oh look, there's a dying man on the side of the road. You try to help him, nothing works. You use your clerical abilities, your arcane abilities, and the only thing that you really are able to kind of ascertain is that he seems to be infected by some type of deep infernal magic that is causing his mind to be unreachable and the things that he says to be absolutely incomprehensible, but you can determine from his words that he does indeed seem to be talking about locations that are around Hillsfar. So let me put this text in there, let you guys read that, and I'll be right back because my dog's about to have an accident. Crisis averted. So,
I would like to do an investigation roll on the body.
very good. Go ahead and do that. And all you do is, you know how to do that. There you go. And I see the results right there. You do indeed discover that this magic that's been coursing through him, it has indeed tainted his entire body. His blood has a very deep magenta look to it. And you can see it just coursing through his veins. I mean, much more purple than you've ever seen any kind of deep blood or infection before.
Okay. Nothing in his pockets or anything in his boots?
Nothing in his pockets or his boots at all. But as
Or
you
his hands?
continue to investigate, Drivenmore, you're the cleric, right?
Yes.
Drivenmore has committed to writing down this old man's prattling words. So I'm sharing with you guys now, and I'm assuming you're all looking at your own sheet, but I am sharing my GM screen just so you guys can see what happens for those of y'all that are interested in doing these GM things yourself. These are the things that you've heard this man prattle over and over again. For instance, he says, "There's a message from this land's new master, but it is hidden fivefold. This is why I need water."
I didn't see that in the text.
You should see an image that I shared.
No, it was a joke.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Don't mess with me, man. All right. So this is the first, as at a place where dandelions rise above and cover the people. The virile and the virulent can be one and the same. The hell-tinged one is lost, and then several are found. The second one runs red with the blood of roots, where Eris lies and hides her pain in long wooden boxes. She hides more than that, though, but only to keep what's hers. The third is the spring of blessed life, where the haunters protest and the protesters haunt. The water runs on, of course, and must be freed for all. The fourth holds the great thundering beasts, but the beasts are gone and give way to the greater thundering beast with death in his eyes. They awaited a place of ancient elven evil. Is there any other type of ancient elven evil? The fifth lies where the ancients lie beneath night's marble, forgotten but not gone. The lost wealth of a forgotten time pays terrible dividends now. And he says these things over and over and over again so that you guys actually start kind of hearing them in your sleep when you rest at night as you continue on your way to Hillsfar going, what do you think this means? So, as with most introductory groups, you're not very familiar with the Forgotten Realms layout, and in particular, the intricacies of the surrounding countryside of Hillsfar. So this is where there's a number, of things that you can do. You can do arcane checks, you can do history checks, you can do some kind of skill checks to try to determine where these places might be. You can also do intimidation checks, persuasion checks with local townsfolk. So what I like to do as a DM is just literally go right down the list here, Glenn Smith, Talia, Jax, Zurich, and Drivenmore, and have you guys narrate to me how you try to investigate these clues. So Glenn Smith, what do you think?
All right. Well, I should know something about the local history, being from close by. What
Very
do I
good.
know?
So go ahead and give me a history check, and let's find out what you know.
I think that's unmodified.
Well, actually, let's see here. If I look at your skills, your history check, and you double-click on that, it should actually roll skill history. So rather than just rolling a d20, which is what you did,
There we go. I see.
there you go. You want to use that skill. That way we actually, it applies your modifications and everything for you. Well, even though you rolled a 7, it turns out that, interestingly enough, that first phrase of the dandelions rising above and cover the people, and the virulent, or the viral and the virulent can be one of the same, that actually sounds like a small farm that's nearby. As you go through your own history and stuff, there is a area that has just always been known to be covered with dandelions over and over again. So you kind of feel that maybe that's a great place for you guys to begin looking. And that place is called the Farbor Farmstead. All right. Tally.
Okay, so I would probably do a history check. Although I'm not proficient in it, I still would try it. See if I can remember anything from my rude days traveling on the roadsides. And I honestly don't remember too much.
Actually, that's fairly good, because as you guys are traveling to Hillsfar, apparently one of the reasons that the faction has asked you guys is you guys are kind of familiar with Hillsfar to begin with. So we don't have we have very easy checks here, in other words. So when you read that, or when you read the phrase that whoever Moore wrote down, of the rush of runs red with blood of roots, that sounds like an area just to the west of Hillsfar that you recall is well known for producing deep red, rich dyes. And in particular, they do that by farming beets, whose roots definitely run red deep into the ground.
Ah, and that is what we used to stain our clothes with when we were on the road as a traveling ruse.
There you go. All right, Jax.
We've done history and
And you can do whatever you like. That's fine.
run an Arcana check, see if I know of any magic stuff in the area.
Absolutely. And by the way, I am one of those DMs that kind of doesn't pay attention to can I questions. I love I do statements. Because you can do anything you want.
Arcana, so I think we got.
Oh yeah, you got that down. Yeah, your Arcana, as you think about that, you remember being taught of an ancient graveyard that was well known for its marble stones and definitely rumors of ancient beings that at one time may have been buried there. You don't remember exactly any more than that, but you know that you think that the fifth statement that old man was saying might apply to that graveyard. Zurich.
I'm sorry. Did you say my name, Shane?
Yeah, Zurich. What kind of skills do you have that might help shed some light on these clues?
I can give him some dwarven ale. See if that'll wake him up.
I think he's dead, Jim.
Persuasion.
I thought he was just mad.
I thought he was dead.
Do you want to tap him with a stick?
Oh, you're talking about the old man? Well, he dies. He's dead. And you guys are looking at the notes that
If you'd
Driven.
given him some dwarven ale, he would have lived.
That might have been what pushed him over the edge, because he was talking a whole bunch of nonsense, and then it just really turned into drivel and nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely taunt his body and take care of it well. And he is dead. He is pushing out the daisies.
Well, did he have any gold on him?
No, he had nothing, just rags.
You can always take his shoes.
Didn't have shoes.
You can always take his fungus underneath his toenails.
There you could do that, yeah. Driven more. Do you have anything that you can contribute?
Nah.
I'm going to see if my teachings from Moradin, if he provides me any guidance through my religion.
All right. Go ahead and do a religion check.
I thought I did. It didn't seem to want to...
You can do two things. You can double-click on the little D20 icon next to the skill, or you can click and drag it into the chat window there in Fantasy.
Yeah, I just did that, and it gave me that could not open data sheet with unloaded module. Only records which you own can be shared. And I don't have...
All right. There may be an issue with that. If you got any error messages, we can approach that later. But I'm going to go ahead and do a religion check for you for now.
Okay.
And you do indeed. You pray for a little while, and you go into a trance. And when you come out of that trance, you inform your fellow party members that there is indeed a spring to Miliki that is nearby into the forest. And it sounds like that could definitely be the spring of blessed life.
Now, is that the Maliki Iki? Is that the place to be?
Likey, Miliki Miki.
May they Kamliki Maka?
Yep. So you guys have kind of some good forehints on different places that you can go to investigate. You can investigate where the dandelions rise, which is the first thing that he was talking about, and which is the farmstead. You can go to where the Bloods of Roots are, which is the beet farm. You can go to the Blessed Life, which is in the forest, or you can go to that graveyard that might hide an ancient evil.
All right, so there's this game, right? It's called Rock, Paper, Shears, and we should totally play it. Ready?
Okay. What do you pick?
Fireball.
All right, so...
How about we go straight down the list? Let's go to the farm first. Farmstead.
We can just wreak havoc and do it backwards.
Or we can do it backwards.
Or we can roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided die and figure it out that way. Or a mysterious writer will say farmstead.
Moradin is speaking to me.
I hear these words, or I read these words that are appearing in space.
I think it's farmstead.
I don't care.
I like your idea. Let's do it the reverse. Let's do the graveyard first, I guess.
Yes. Wouldn't that be fun?
Tally spins in a circle, and then she just starts walking off in a direction. Whatever direction she goes into is where we're going.
1 shall count to 3, no more, no less. 3 shall be the number. 4 shalt that not count. 5 is right out.
Evil graveyard.
I thought he was going to put evil gravy.
When he
Probably give you the case of the
You did
winds.
emphasize the why.
when he says we should go to the evil graveyard first, every one of you kind of goes, what's wrong with the farm?
I'm going to say let's not be red for, a couple of months. Let's skip the farm for now.
Yeah, let's, there might be something to the fact that he said that there's something about these 5 clues and that it's hidden 5-fold. And there seems to be something key about something about a new master. So there might be something about the order of these things as well, too. But yes, when he says, let's go to the evil graveyard, every one of you looks at him like, are you insane?
The farmstead sounds just fine.
It's cool. I brought my proton pack. I'm
Except
got
for
my
Zurich.
stuff.
Zurich says, I thrive on evil graveyards.
What's a proton pack?
It's the thing that a gnome invented back in, the town over Zephyr Hills, little town over there. It's by Aquafina, I believe,
All right.
and perhaps by Perrier.
So you guys are heading to the farmstead?
We're going to the farmstead.
That's probably smart. Especially because as you continue your journey into Hillsfar, you start noticing there's lots of dandelions all over the ground. And yes, the evil graveyard, as enticing as it seems, is probably a 2-day walk away. But the farmstead, however, is just a couple hundred yards that way.
Wow, that's convenient.
It is, yeah. I've run adventures before where I can say, you guys want to go after the chicken thief or do you want to go after the mystic weapons? And everybody, no one ever wants to go after the chicken thief.
I want to kick chickens.
Exactly. So.
Don't kick him 3 times.
So yes.
The dandelions, right? I'm going to start braiding them and making crowns.
Okay. They're all over the place, and you can absolutely do that. And you have a nice crown of dandelions, which, as you approach what is the only farmstead that you see for miles, in the middle of this rather nice meadow of dandelions with woods just beyond, you see little bitty shapes running all over this farmstead. It's kind of hard to tell how many, but you estimate there's probably about a dozen of them that are just climbing on the roof, swinging from the trees, chasing each other through the fences. Looks like they're throwing things at each other. It looks like
Empty goblins, charge!
it could very well be. And as you get closer, you start taking off a little bit, but you do realize that they appear to be a mixture of small children. You see...
Oh, they're not goblins. Darn.
They're worse.
Exactly, because you see halfling children, dwarven children, orc children, half-orc children, that is, human children, actually human children, and
Okay.
little gnome child.
I would
Go
like
ahead.
to make a perception check to see if there's anything weird about the children other than them running around. Like, are their eyes glowing? Are their skin a different color?
It's a very good thing to do. Look at that. Apparently that dandelion crown that you've made has increased your capabilities considerably.
Apparently so.
Yes, you pause Zurich in his charge to destroy the goblin children.
Like, whoa, big guy.
He goes,
Hold
wait
up.
a second. You see those 6 kids that are playing over there? They all look identical.
Dun, dun, dun.
I want to do an Arcana check to see if I sense any magic or magical stuff or whatnot. Let me figure out what that was.
you don't sense any magic at all. So there you go. The madman's words spoke of Farbower Farms. A farmhouse, sheds, and barns on the road ahead matched the description of the madman's prophecy. Their green painted walls and yellow roofs make the buildings look like huge dandelions sprouting in the fields, along, of course, with the dandelions all over the place. And, of course, as you approach, you do see that there is a pair of short figures, children, carrying sloshing buckets from a nearby stream towards one of the barns. And there's a significant amount of noise emanating from inside the farmhouse itself, as if there's a crowd of angry people all shouting at once in high-pitched voices. And as you approach, some of these children stop to look at you. They wave. Some are a little sheepish. A couple of them, they don't really want to approach you at all. But you do notice that they all seem to be rather dirty, not malnourished. They seem to be pretty in good health. But they have the overwhelming air of orphans about them.
Okay.
And of course, there are 6 human children that all look identical.
All right. And you said they already saw us?
I said what?
They've already spotted us.
Oh, yeah, they see you guys approaching.
Well, there is my idea for trapping the children. Okay.
I go up to one of the dwarf children and I say, "Where be your parents?"
One small half-orc female, she looks up at you and says, Ma, she's inside. She's cooking some dinner. You can go talk to her. She's inside.
How many of these children are there?
You estimate there's at least a dozen.
I would suggest the rogue sneak up to the barn and see if she can overhear what's going on.
And there is a barn.
Okay, so sticking to the shadows and the brush, I'm going to try to sneak my way over to the barn and peer into a window.
Okay. You start sneaking your way into the barn. You distract a couple of children, and you kind of you feel that you're hiding in the shadows. But as you're sneaking on the way over to the barn, you notice that those 6 human children that look alike, there's something even more odd about them that stands out on the back of your head. They're all barefoot. None of them are wearing any shoes. And they all appear to have 6 toes on each foot, in addition to 6 fingers on each hand. So I'll let you decide if you want to continue sneaking your way over to the barn or not.
Have they already seen me?
No one's seen you at all. You're hiding in the shadows of a tree. The rest of you guys are just milling about, watching these little urchins run all over the place, deciding if you want to go inside this house or not. And again, you do hear high-pitched sounds, and it does. There's a nice warm oak fire that's definitely burning inside. So you smell an inviting oak fire that's going as well. But you see that Tally has indeed kind of sneaking her way over to the barn.
Okay, so I take note of the children, but don't say anything because I'm not in voice range and I don't want to give away my position. And I continue over to a window that is most shrouded in darkness so I can peer into it.
Mm-hmm. Not a problem. I see your stealth check there very well. But yeah, you can sneak over to the barn or a window at the barn, and you do indeed look inside, and it looks like a barn. You see chickens, and there's a cow over in a corner just slowly chewing her cud. And there's a couple goats that are milling about, but nothing that seems out of the ordinary at all.
Okay. Did the child before mention the mother in the house or in the barn cooking? Like, you said there was
the little
noises?
half-orc girl?
There was adult noises coming from the barn before, you said?
No, that's coming from the farmhouse. Sorry.
The farmhouse. Okay. I would want to sneak around to the back where the farmhouse is and peer in.
Okay. You go ahead and give me another stealth check. Yeah, apparently the big warriors are distracting all of the children, so no one notices you sleeping or sneaking around the house here in through a window. And you do indeed make it around the backside of this little farmhouse, and when you look inside, there is a man and a woman that are having a typical man and a woman discussion about how are we going to feed these kids, how are we going to keep them clothed, what are we going to do about the goats, what are we going to do about the cows? We don't have enough money to make this. Ever since Hillsfar, kicked all these people out, we just keep getting more and more of these people. Why do they keep coming here? Why can't these people, don't they have jobs? Everyone dumps their kids on us, difficult life problems. But you get the feeling that the woman is overwhelmed, not just by children and the situation, but by her daily chores as she goes about frantically trying to prepare supper for both her husband and these children.
Okay. So I'm going to sneak back to my party.
All right.
I want to walk over to the six-toed, six-fingered children, and can I do a medicine check on them to see if maybe there's something that springs to mind as to what causes this?
Sure thing. One of them, you walk them, and some of them are shy. One of them kind of comes forward. She seems a little bit more brave than the others. And you ask her to hold out her hands and toes, and she does so proudly and says, "These are my special hands, and that's my magic finger. Mommy says that that's a special finger that's going to make me super strong someday. I don't know how it's going to make me strong, but Mommy says that we're special." But you don't see anything out of the ordinary about it other than the fact that they seem to have 6 fingers and 6 toes.
And that they're all identical.
And they're all identical.
Has anybody done an Arcana check on them yet?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, should we go up to the farmhouse then?
Can I do? I want to run a religion check on them.
Go ahead.
$23.
Nothing that stands out other than they seem just like your typical orphan crowds. But as you start examining them and looking for, whether they have horns on their heads or teeth where it doesn't belong, you actually scare some of these kids away, and a lot of them go running into the house calling for their mama.
Okay. While they're doing that, I want to do a mental history check.
All right.
On what the kids might be. Why isn't it sharing? Double click, move it over, hit the stupid button. There we go.
No, nothing that you can know, other than it's obvious that a lot of the children that you see here are orphans that have probably been kicked out from the city, and this family appears to maybe have taken them in. Based on just what you know about the xenophobia around Hillsfar.
Okay, and I tell everybody what I learned from the farmhouse.
Very good.
So we are going up to the door?
Sure.
As a giant herd of people, or shall one of us or two of us go up? The least threatening of which?
Well, probably not be the heavily armed dwarves.
All right, Tally strides up to the door. She knocks, hoping that they don't mistake her as one of their children or another one that's come visiting from the town.
I'll follow up behind her.
As will I.
Very good. Yeah, you knock on the door, and from inside you hear, "Yes, come in."
Okay.
Stand there all day. Come on in. Come in.
Hello, my name is Jax, and this is my daughter Talia. We're thinking about setting down roots in town, and came across your beautiful farm.
Talia raises her eyebrow and thinks to herself, she's probably older than he is, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm
you
kidding.
Look at this rather, overworked woman in years as she is shouting to her kids, holding up a finger at one point, and the entire time that you're talking to her, she's still stirring a pot while she's cradling another infant human in one hand as well. There's another one that rests in a sling on her waist. So she's mixing a pot, telling the children to hush up as she's listening to you, has one kid slung on her waist, another kid that she's holding in her hand, and then there's 3 other adult humans that you see, and then another young non-human, maybe a half-elf or elf, you can't really tell. But they seem to be holding other human newborns as well. And between the woman and those helping her, there is a total of those you see another 6 human infants in the room, along with these other 6 other children, in addition to the dozen that you saw outside. This is a crazy place. It is filled with children running all over the place. But again, this woman, you talk to her, she kind of just nods and winks at you a little bit, well, not knowingly, but and waits until you finish. When she says, "Well, if you come for dinner, you're more than welcome. But just before anything else, just you got to help out. You got to help me with these chores. I mean, just hold on a second, Beatrice. Just hold on." As she quiets one elf who's got a screaming child on her arms as well. So you guys look around, and you can see she is absolutely overworked, and she is asking you to help her with her chores. Isn't that an exciting adventure?
Would the kids be interested in seeing a magic show so I can distract them?
They very well might, actually. You can perform some cantrips, and that'll quiet them down long enough.
I got a good spell for them. Here, little one, pull me finger.
Oh, boy.
That the woman with the spoon and the baby, she actually introduces herself as B. And she says, "If you're here for a meal, just grab some taters from the bin and start peeling them, and we'll cook them up for you. You're more than welcome. You'll have to catch and dress your own chicken, though, if you want to have anything meat. But before we eat, make yourselves useful, please. I mean, someone needs to go and at least fetch Penroth. Where is Penroth?" And she looks at 2 little girls that you saw outside earlier. That they seem to be they have that knowing child look where you know that they're upset about something. So she goes on to say, "Where is that boy got off to again? If any of you have any skill in husbandry, I want you to run out to the goat barn and see if Jovi's kids are ready to pop yet. Werner, take these folks out there and introduce them to Jovi when you're done, and then come back for a meal." You see this one young halfling kid who looks even small for a halfling child at that he hops down from the table, and he's a little upset at being asked to do a chore, but he knows far better than to talk back to his foster mother here. As he starts waddling to the door, and without even asking if you guys are going to follow him or not, he just waves and says, "Follow me, I'll show you where Jovi is."
Okay, so I follow him.
Yeah. I'll follow behind my pretend daughter.
All right. How about you, Drivenmore? Are you going to continue entertaining the children with magic?
Yeah, I'll cast some lights and use my thaumaturgy to make some silly voices and whatnot.
Very good. And then the rest of you guys are following Jovi out to the barn?
Sure, I'll go out to the barn.
Very good.
Unless we see those 2 girls on the way. Yep.
But before I leave, I'll use minor illusion to give whoever's staying behind some donkey ears to music heads.
Oh, that makes a couple of the children laugh hysterically and makes it real hard to hear anything. But who is it that's approaching the 2 young girls?
Glenn.
Glenn Smith? Okay. So that leaves Jax, Tally, and Zurich heading out to the barn. So Glenn, you approach those 2 young girls. Go ahead and give me an insight check.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can easily tell in just talking to these girls, like how you doing and everything else, that they have no interest in talking to a grown-up right now. They kind of look knowingly between them, and they definitely feel like you get the feeling that they don't want to talk about something. And when you actually say, what's the matter? What's troubling you? One of them nudges the other one, who then immediately says, "We don't know where Penroth is."
I think you do. I'll use intimidate. How do I do that now?
We can do a little bit of persuasion. Oh, come on.
Go ahead.
It's just for the meal. We need to know where he's gonna feed him at.
Oh, this is just Glenn Smith that's dealing with these right now. All right. Well, you're gonna persuade them instead of intimidate them. Aren't you nice? I mean persuade. So, yeah, you talk to them a little casually, and you say, yeah, it's okay, you can tell me, and they look between each other, glancing back and forth, as one of the girls says to you, well, we just don't want to get in trouble, but Penroth, he ran off into the woods. And we know, I mean, we know that we probably should have told someone right away, but we're afraid that we're going to get in trouble if anyone finds out we didn't tell anybody.
Oh, you don't have to worry. I can get fetch him back for you.
They seem a little bit relieved at that. Isn't that nice?
Do you know where he goes?
And they point off into the north, into the woods. The other three of you that are following Werner out to the barn. Werner says, oh, come this way. How many of you guys know how to deal with a goat?
Oh, I know how to deal with goats. We used to do it all the time as a traveling roo.
If you put the goat's neck on the axe, we can cook it up later.
No, you can't cook these goats. These are our milking goats. This is the milking town. This is how we feed our family. You can't cook these goats.
Oh, those kind of goats. Nope, no experience with them kind of goats.
No. And Jovi seems like a teenage halfling. He seems to be at least somewhat knowing of the world as he glances back at the three of you guys with this look of, right, you guys know a lot about goats, don't you? I will follow
I try to milk one of the goats for him.
Well, he leads you on into the barn, and as he does so, you hear high-pitched shrieks. I can't say that word, apparently. High-pitched shrieks of fear and panic that greet you as you enter. There's a couple of dozen goats that fill the barn, and most of them are huddling in the corners, shying away from a single goat who's now in the center. And you don't remember seeing this goat before, nor do you remember seeing all the goats huddled into one corner. They were kind of just mingling around, but now something seems to be happening.
Okay.
And as you look at this big goat that's in the center of the barn, you can see that it has a hideously distended belly that shows that even for someone that may or may not know anything about goats, that this goat is not just pregnant, but very, very pregnant. And she looks like she is about to burst.
Okay. So I have surprise on the creature, right? So can I auto-crit it with advantage?
What are you doing?
I'm attacking the goat.
You're attacking the goat?
Yes.
All right, you start moving to attack the goat, draw your weapon, and Jovi, who seems to be quite upset that this goat is about ready to give labor, actually runs right in front of you saying, don't attack the goat! That's our goat! That's where we get the milk! You can't attack our goat!
I thought I was the aggressive one.
Your goat seems not to be a normal goat.
Of course it's not a normal goat. It's a milking goat, not an eating goat.
It's a pregnant milking goat.
What things come out of this pregnant goat? Are they other goats, or are they something different?
Six-toed children.
You know, I had a strange dream about this last night. I was fighting some strange demon goats or something.
Oh, there's no demon goats around here.
Must have been a sign from Morden, I take it.
So what do you do with Jovi? He is definitely distraught that you guys are about to kill his goat.
I would ask Jovi what kind of animal that this goat produces. Is it another human, or is it a goat?
It produces kids, baby goats.
Baby goats? No humans like the six-fingered, six-toes brothers and sisters over there?
Oh, no, we don't. Their mother, she showed up and died and gave birth to them. Well, that's a whole other story. But no, she gives birth to goats. She looks like she's about to pop. Can you help me deliver these kids? Ma's going to be mad if these kids aren't born successfully. I mean, we're looking forward to just how many more goats we're going to get out of this bunch. And I know every one of you guys wants to kill this goat. But you're going to have to
pregnant goat looked like this pregnant goat?
The other goat? Yeah, they look like this pregnant goat. She just looks like she has a massive belly, and we're not talking like it looks like she's got a cow inside of her, but you just know that this goat looks pregnant. You've never seen a goat or anything as pregnant as this thing is.
I will take care of the goat before Tally kills it.
I want to do an insight check on the kid and see if I can detect if he's being honest that it's
Absolutely.
goats that it gives out, or hey, I'm a halfling, so it doesn't matter. You know what I can do?
Yes.
Oh, if only it would let me.
What, it won't let you re-roll that?
No, hold on. Insight, go, little dragon head. Stop it. There we go.
Okay. You absolutely do not sense that there is anything other than genuine distraught coming from Jovi in protecting what could very well be his prize goat that he has probably raised from a kid.
Okay, Jovi, I'd be more than happy to help you out with your goat.
Well, thank you. She looks like she's. I mean, you stand down there at that end, and she's going to start popping out these kids any second. So go ahead and give me an animal handling check.
All right,
Literally.
if the magic portal suddenly appears out of its ass.
I should have gone mage hand.
Jovi says, no. You don't want, the kids are not going to come from there. You want to just lay her down. Help me get her on her side.
Don't you know anything?
Help me get her on her side. Tally steps in, and the two of you together, with a little bit of guidance from Jovi. I'm sorry, not Jovi, but a little bit of guidance from Werner. I get Jovi and Werner confused. You do indeed succeed in delivering a goat.
Shocking.
And the goat looks like a goat and not a demon goat.
No, it looks like a goat. You see the little goat feet coming out, and you pull, and there's a little goat belly, and it's like a baby goat. It's like the size of a small chihuahua. It's real small. And you pull a little bit more, and this goat seems like it's actually stuck in there a little bit, and this is probably why Jovi is screaming, because as you pull, out pops this bright red fur little baby goat with two heads that are staring up at you with a mix of curiosity and scorn. It immediately, as it falls on the ground, stands and wobbles away with a dismissive bah that is deep and long and more than a little unsettling.
How many fingers does it have?
Has two little cloven hooves and two heads. You stare kind of in amazement at this red-furred little two-headed kid that emerged, and even Werner is a little bit shocked at that.
Why? It doesn't have any extra fingers.
But
it has two heads.
Before you know it, you see another kid suddenly pop out, and then another, and it's almost like rabbit droppings. These goats are just popping out of this pregnant goat until there's a total of 6 more little goats all standing around you, all with bright red fur and little tints of other colors mixed in with the fur. Werner cries out in alarm as the last goat pops out, and Jovi just collapses exhausted. And he's hugging her, and he's begging you to intercede to help Jovi make sure that she's going to survive, because this has obviously put a lot of stress on her. So does anyone want to help Jovi survive this?
Sure. I'll help him with the medicine roll. The best I can do, kid.
I'll give her a sip of me dwarven ale. Maybe that'll calm her nerves.
Her eyes roll up in the back of her head a little bit, especially with the sip of the dwarven ale. And unfortunately, yes, Jovi does indeed pass away.
What is it with you and that ale? You're killing everyone.
Yeah, first the madman and now this one. I take a swig just to be sure it's not poison.
Okay, so I want to see what's being fed to the goats.
Okay. Well, it looks like as you glance around the farm and you see these little baby kid goats are prancing all over the place, and there's normal food. Burner is still distraught at the idea that Jovi's dead, but you don't see anything that stands out at all. However, over on one barrel, you see that one two-headed red goat, that baby goat, is standing, and it actually seems to be staring at all of you guys rather intensely.
And I say, "Hey, what's up, goat? How's your mother?" Kidding.
And the goat replies, "You dare enter my realm."
And we all we do the laugh.
That goat just be talking to us.
And then we just all bust out our weapons all at once. Ready, guys?
Pretty much, yeah. You glance at each other, and in one fell swoop, every one of y'all draw your weapons out immediately.
Yeah, that's initiative.
Well, first I throw me dwarven ale at it.
If you're gonna do that, we should light it on fire.
What are the other red goats doing?
Well, that's a very good question, and we're going to tell you what happens with those in just a second.
They're flanking us to get advantage. You know, pack tactics.
Somebody want to call out to the cleric that's in the house?
He's still there entertaining the children. And Drivenmar and yeah, there's only the three of y'all that are in the barn right now.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
Can I make a big bouncing red arrow above the barn that points down at it with the word "help" on it?
I'm sure that's going to be happening very soon. I can't believe I haven't done this yet, but I haven't loaded up the combat tracker with all your characters yet, so bear with me one. So right now we've got Tally in the barn. We've got Jaxkirk in the barn. And Zurich in the barn. And you are actually, I'm putting you on the map. Oh, you guys don't see my map yet unless you're looking at the GM screen. But the two that are not in the barn, I'm placing on the map, but you're not actually where I'm placing you. So let me share this map. And you guys will start seeing that load in. I'll give that a moment and just let me know once everybody has seen the map.
I see it.
I didn't have your DM screen up, so what did you do to put them in the combat tracker? You just drag and drop their icons?
I click on the portrait and then just drag it over the combat tracker.
Okay.
All right. And yes, there are indeed, as you guys are staring at this two-headed goat that did indeed sit and speak to you with that very deep demonic voice that just said, "Why, how dare you enter my realm?" You do indeed know that those are fighting words. And as you sit and stare at that little baby two-headed goat, before your very eyes, it grows in size tremendously. Like 1 second it's there, the next second there is this gigantic, large goat.
And nobody's shooting at it?
They will in a second, but that's just it. It's literally like, as it's saying, "How dare you enter my realm?" By the time it finishes the M in realm, it is now 10 feet wide.
I don't think you know what realm you're in,
2, 3.
Mr. Goat.
There we go. So yes, baby goats, big goats. And Jovi, being the small halfling kid that he is already running out of the barn.
Wasn't there only 6?
All right. And
Shane, you might want to slide the goat down just a tad bit so it's actually taking up a 4x4.
which goat?
The giant goat.
It is. It's taking up a 4x4.
It is okay. It's hard to see the line. Oh, I see the floorboards of, of the barn. Okay, the lines. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So this is very similar to the combat we had last night. The goats are just in different places. I've already rolled initiative. Jax Kirks. It figures that the brand new player here is going to be the first one to go. So, Jax, what you do for combat is you open up your character sheet.
Okay.
And think about what you're going to do, just like in a real game. Are you going to attack with a weapon, or are you going to cast a spell, that kind of thing? But you think about your actions. But yes, you do indeed. You have these 6, or really 7 goats. There are 6 baby goats and 1 giant goat.
Okay. And each square is how
It is 5 squares, or 5 feet. So really, for your first turn, Jax, the best thing to do is for you to tell me what you would do, whether it's a real tabletop game, and I'll guide you through how you do that.
I'd move out of the barn enough where the big one's still in range of my my firebolt, and I call out of my shoulder, "Hey, we need help!"
Back to the house.
Well, I mean, I'm going to stay in combat.
That's good. No, I hear what you're saying. So what you do is you left-click on top of your character portrait and drag the mouse out, and you're going to get a pointer showing where you're going to move to.
Oh, that's cool. I think I should be able to see that one goat, so I'll move there.
Very good. And then I approve that move, and you then go, whoa, get me out of that barn. And yes, you do, and you see the farmhouse over to, it's a little ways away, with Werner frantically running back to the farmhouse. And you still, of course, there's all sorts of children laughing at the show that's being put on inside the farmhouse.
And I'll use magical illusion to make it amplified. We need help at the barn, quickly!
That's a very smart move. I will let you do that. And what that will do is at least grant everybody that is in there, for Glenn Smith and Drivenmore, is it Glenn? It is Glenn Smith and Drivenmore. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make a perception check. And no, this is going to be passive perception, actually. Let me look at this. So you are, and Drivenmore, you do not know if they heard you or not.
Okay.
How can prompt icon? I was going to see if I can whisper, but I will tell you, just for the sake of purposes, that you don't feel, you just know within your soul that even with your magical illusion, that you are not able to drown out the laughter that's coming from within the house with the magical show that's going on.
Even the guy who's outside?
There are no guys that are outside. Those guys that you see down there, I just put them down there so that they're there for now.
I thought one was outside talking to a girl.
Oh.
But I guess that was inside.
Yeah, that was inside. So when you're done, at the bottom of the screen is a little dragon icon with an arrow underneath it. All you do is left-click on that, and that advances the initiative to the next person.
Okay.
In the combat tracker. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen is a cross swords icon. Left-click on that, and that's the combat tracker. That lets you know the current situation in combat.
Okay, so I've moved. Do I have any more move? How far away is the house?
Move 30 feet, and you cast a cantrip. Yeah, the house itself is 100 yards away. So.
Okay.
There you go. And it's always the giant two-headed goat that gets to go first. That's pretty nasty. Luckily, the goat in this small confined area doesn't have enough room to actually charge anybody. But it can move forward and start attacking someone, and it does. Let's see here. I'm going to say high is going to be Amanda, low is going to be Zurich. I just roll a d6, and it's going to be high. So, with Amanda.
All right, so it's attacking me. So it has to hit my AC.
It is, yes, it is coming to attack you.
Can I taunt it as a free action?
What's that?
Can I taunt it as a free action?
No, unless you have an ability that does that. But you don't really need to worry because he missed with his first attack, but he does have 2 attacks. And that second attack, look at that. He apparently grew so fast, too big, that as he was standing on top of that barrel, taunting you with his little demonic voice from his left head, the right head apparently was giggling something incoherently and decided to start charging forward early, which threw off his entire combat, and he's now ended up just kind of tripping and slipping and totally missed the attack. It doesn't grant you any bonuses, but he rolled a 1 on that one, so automatic miss.
That's because you're in our realm now, Goatee.
So apparently your taunt did work, Zurich. So, moving on to Glenn Smith. Glenn Smith is in the barn house making children laugh. Drivenmore is in the barn house. Well, Glenn Smith is, you guys are dealing with the children in the barn house. So on to Tally.
Okay, so I'm going to shout to Zurich, we should run out the door. And while I'm doing that, I am preparing my action to grab my flask of oil and my tinder lighting and light the flask of oil and throw it into some hay. And I'm going to set the barn on fire.
All right, so what you're doing is a disengage with a combined action. Go ahead and give me a acrobatics check. And if you beat a 10, I'll let you do all that stuff.
Okay. Boom.
All right, so unfortunately, you disengage to get away from the goat, and you run out of the barn, but you ham-bone your pack trying to feel for the flask and the lighting and everything else, because that is basically 3 actions in 1 turn. So go ahead and move away, but you will not incur an attack of opportunity from the goat for moving away.
I made the line. I think you have to move my character.
I do. I didn't know if that's where you wanted to end up, though.
Fine.
Because you're in the middle of 10 squares, so you probably want to be there instead.
Okay.
Yeah, she can move 20. She can move 25 feet, right?
Yeah, you can move. You've only moved 10 feet so far. You can move another 15 feet.
I'm gonna try to shout to him. We should run.
I ain't running from no damn goats. I'll kill them all. We'll be eating goat for dinner.
I got this. Come my next turn. You don't want to be in the barn, and I'm still gonna fumble around for my flask and my lighting stuff.
Very good. All right, so and you'll be able, if you don't combine that with another action, because you understand what I did there, where you're doing a disengage and the move and the wanting to grab a whole thing to be able to light it and all that good stuff.
Right, I get a free disengage anyways, don't I?
At 2nd level.
That's right. I'm at 2nd level yet, am I?
Right. It's fun to be first. All right, so I believe that you're done with your turn?
Yep.
All right, go ahead and advance the turn, and if you want, I can do it.
Okay. Combat tracker, right? Sure. Round. How do you?
There's that little dragon. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so yes, you do indeed back away, and of course you have Zurich who's bowing up. The one demonic voice from that 2-headed goat starts yelling and baying demonic infernal commands to all those kids, brothers and sisters, and they do indeed start charging after things. This one little baby goat is actually going to charge after you, Tally. So he'll move down there, move there, move there, and then move there, giving him a charge bonus if he hits, and he missed. Yay! And there's much this goat is actually going to charge the dwarf, who apparently the two-headed dwarf or two-headed goat is taking extreme prejudice towards. And he will hit Zurich. So if this works right, the effect should be applied, and it is. So you are rammed for a hard 7 points of damage. And in addition to that, you need to make a strength save versus 10. And I've got that, Zurich. I just drop it on top of you, and it makes it. And you do, so you avoid being knocked prone by this thing.
Okay.
These goats get crazy nasty. We have a next goat who is actually going to do the exact same thing. And he will miss, thank God. This goat will go after Tally, but he does not get a charge because he did not move over 10 feet or 10 feet or more. So he just gets a regular hit, which he does, for a whopping 2 points of damage. I love the fact that I don't even have to pay attention to the damage. I just go through these things.
It's
This
nice.
guy here is already combating in Zurich, so he doesn't need to move at all, and he misses. And that leaves the last goat, who attacks Zurich as well, and he misses. I love first level adventures. Zurich, it's been a long time of coming. You are heavily wounded already. But
Well, the first thing I'll do, I'll take a second wind.
that would be good.
So now, do I just roll a d10, or do I roll out from the ability screen?
You can just roll a d10. If you look on the ability screen, it just tells you what you do. It's a d10 plus your fighter level. So you can go ahead and roll it, and then I apply it to the combat tracker.
Okay. So what do I do? I throw it up here or something?
Yep, that's all you do. Woohoo! That's a really crappy second. Because we're learning the game, good, do that again. But you're sticking with the second roll.
Okay. Jesus. Did I roll it or no? Let me
Yeah, it has to be in the chat window for you.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
There you go. So that's better. So you take a second wind and you heal yourself of that 7 points of little damage. Ain't no little kid gonna charge me.
Okay. So now I go. Does that?
That's a bonus action, so you're still good.
But I mean, is that already calculated back in my hit points?
I did. I put it in there.
Oh, you put it in. Okay, cool. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So now I just do my action now. Okay. So
Yep.
Here. Actions. There we go. And... Ugh, I missed. That's terrible.
That's not good.
Okay, and then I go back over here, and I.
Now, you can still move if you want to, but you probably don't want to. All right, very good. So, and Jax, it is your turn.
How far away is the farmhouse again?
100 yards. So that's 300 feet. So you move 30 feet.
Yeah, it's not going to be any good going. The boy, he's still running toward the house?
Yes, he is. He is about a third of the way there. Halfling child.
Well, hopefully our two friends realize things going on when he goes in saying two-headed red goats are attacking us. So I will acid splash the goat to the left of Tolly, and with
Awesome.
a second one hitting the goat above it.
Right. So with acid splash, if you open up your abilities, you have a little D20 there. All you do is left click and drag that D20. And I'm going to help you out here actually, because this is a cool thing. But you can't do this yet, so I'm going to help you out. 1 second. I'm going to target both of those goats for you for this spell.
Okay.
Now all you have to do is double click on the D20 for acid splash. And you can see that it's got the goat saves versus that. Don't worry about the failures, because when you double clicked it, it did it twice. But you can see that the first one made a save, and goat number 4 made a save as well. So they don't take any damage from the spell.
Oh.
Dun-dun-dun.
Bum bum.
All right. Do you have any movement?
There's not much. I'll stay where I am.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
and quick clarification. I think when I took 7 damage and then I healed 7, so I should be back at 13. I think you had me at 10.
I think you healed 6.
It's 6 plus your level, so 6 plus 1.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Just
All right.
FYI.
Giant 2-headed goat. Mmm. He's gonna take up Zurich's challenge to keep him fighting. The giant 2-headed goat, we clear out his target because he had Tally targeted. I'm going to change it to him. And we have a miss and a hit. He hit Zurich once for another heavy, heavy damage. 9 points of damage on Zurich.
Ouch.
Glenn Smith. Why is Glenn Smith dying?
Wait, I'm dying? What?
Oh, somebody typed in hit points on your character sheet. You are not dying. wait, I'm dying? I was just taking care of children.
Children are stealing your soul.
Yes, apparently they're in the wrong place. So Glenn Smith, yeah, you are still entertaining people. Mar entertaining people, and this is always how this works. Tally, your turn.
Okay. Let's see. I am going to attack the goat that's in front of me with my rapier.
You can do that.
Let me toggle over to the other page.
In 4th edition, they used to have a little mini page for the combat. I wish that they still had that. But generally, what you want to do is try to keep the your character sheet open so that it's always there for you.
Yeah, I know. I had the other screen open, so.
No, that's fine. Oh, because you're watching what I do.
Uh-huh.
All right. And you attack, but you didn't choose the target, so you were attacking the goat in front of you.
Uh-huh.
Number 1, his armor class is a total of 10. So you do hit. I'm not going to make you lose that attack. So go ahead and roll your damage on him.
Oh, awesome.
And see, again, because you dropped it in the chat window and not on the goat, it doesn't apply that damage to the goat. But you did 11 points of damage, so as a DM, I'm just going to click on that little 11, drag it over that goat, and now that goat is dead. Think. And I delete him so that you don't get confused and attack him again. All right. Any other things?
I have a movement action, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
you do.
Gonna move closer to Zurich, I guess. Back into combat.
You don't want to take an AO.
Yeah,
Do
you'll
you
take.
get a second attack? Do you have 2, like a rapier and a short sword?
I can't use the second attack. I'm only level 1.
Not with finesse weapons, you can always use a bonus action to take a second attack.
No, it's only if you have 2 weapons.
Well, that's what I mean. I thought she had a rapier, and I'm saying she had a rapier and a short sword.
Are you fighting? Are you fighting 2 weapons?
No, I don't think I have a 2-weapon proficiency.
You don't need 2-weapon proficiency. Yeah, you can just say I'm fighting with 2 weapons, and you get to attack. You just don't add your bonus damage to the second.
Yeah, as long as one of them has to be a finesse weapon. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
well then we'll do that then.
Yeah. So yeah, swing your dagger at him.
All right, so I'm clicking on the stupid goat.
Well, just left click and drag the D20 over the goat.
Under your actions, yeah.
There you go. And you miss with the dagger.
Swing and a miss. But I cut a piece of its fur off.
Yes, you have a little bit of red fur on your dagger, and it laughs at you as it dodges aside, almost like it was meant to do that.
As long as it's not burning through it.
All right, anything else?
I guess that's it.
So it's the plethora of goats' turn. And we got craziness going on here with these goats. So the first one continues his mad attack on poor Zurich.
You have a new text message, sir.
Uh-oh.
Bye-bye.
Came back goat.
That damn goat. So, yes.
Yep.
Zurich is dying. Quick, somebody give him some Dwarven Ale.
I don't know. It seems to be doing the opposite effect. So.
Remember, he took that swig of it.
Yeah.
So, because that little goat is pretty happy that he took down the crazy dwarf, he actually prances over to this side of the barn and does a little dance on top of a barrel.
Now, is there any way that Glenn and I could possibly be going, hey, I wonder what's taking our compadre so long?
I yelled that in the
I've already done that as a DM. I can tell you I've already rolled the, in my little secret DM thing, how many rounds it's going to take for you guys to get here. So,
Awesome.
save the day. It should be before Zurich dies. So this goat here is going
Wasn't I technically outside, though? Because that's where the girls were?
or tally. Well, let's see. On a 5 or lower, you are outside. There you go. You are outside. So yes, I'll let you get here around sooner. Because I know it's boring to sit and watch all this stuff. I want to. So yes, this goat charges poor Tally.
See there, it says the two girls outside. Hey.
And attacks Tally and misses. Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
Yay.
This goat continues its mad stomping on Tally, but before it attacks, and it hits, sorry. I was going to do something else, but that's fine. Takes 2 points of damage on Tally. This goat, as Tally bravely defends the opening to the barn, holding at bay all of the goats, will charge you as well. And it will also miss.
Sweet.
And the last goat doesn't really know what to do, so it just prances around the barn over here on top of the barrel and laughs at the dwarf drowning in his own ale. Okay, Zurich, there's your death roll, and it's a success, almost a crit, and it does take that into account. Glenn Smith, you're the one that was outside talking to the girls.
Right.
You do indeed see the little halfling come running towards you, followed by
The yell for help.
is casting into the barn, and you see the yell for help. So yes, you can get a little bit of a head start. We'll say that you've got 60 feet, so we'll just call it an even 3 more turns, and then you'll be in. Unless you want to run into the house and say, driven more, we need you. Or you don't want to just run to the barn and get there.
No, I'll just run. Run. Short moving legs.
Time you get back, we could all be dead.
That's right. You don't want to go and get driven more because he's keeping all the people happy inside the barn. So, all right. Zurich, that was his death save. Nothing else to do there. Jax, your turn.
So Zurich is dead right now.
Zurich is in the process of dying at the moment, yes.
I assume catching the barn, barn on fire won't help the situation. So I would do acid splash against the one to the left of Tally and the one below that one.
All right, let me set your targets for you real quick. The one to the left of Tally and the one below that one is what you said.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and do your acid splash spell.
So I drag it over them?
Just click on it. There you go. And one fails and one succeeds. Now, go ahead, and it actually removes the target when you do that. So go ahead and just double click on the damage for your acid click spell, and you'll see what happens.
Okay, so I click on the what do I click on? Oh, the fire icon.
Yes, the little this little blood icon. There you go, and it applies it to the one goat that failed its saving throw. So I don't have to do anything for this stuff. It just does it all automatically for me. I love that. So unfortunately, that goat is only heavily wounded and still attacking poor Tally, who's bravely defending the opening of this bar. What I'm doing down here, Glenn Smith, is I'm moving you forward. So when you get up here, then that's where you are, and you can now take in there. Take effect.
Fantastic.
So right now you're here. All right. So do you want to move it all, Jax?
No.
All right. Giant
So
two-headed goat. It bleats menacingly at the dwarf, leans down, and starts licking your beard, while one head starts licking up your dwarven L.
Oh.
But it's not too concerned about what's going on. He shouts to his three brothers, "Take care of that little thing," talking about Tally. So he actually doesn't do anything this turn. Glenn Smith, I'm coming. And Drivenmore continues to entertain children. Next turn, things will happen in the house. Tally, your turn.
Okay, so the one that's heavily injured, is that the yellow one?
The yellow one, yes. You see that little indicator there? That gives an indicator of their health.
All right. I am going to use my rapier again and try to pierce it through its bottom of his jaw to the top of its head. Let's see if I can do it.
All right, transfer that description into a good die roll.
As soon as I can figure out my dice. Where is weapons? Sorry, I had like 5,000 screens up.
Hold on a second before you roll damage. Oh, I just did something bad. That's fine. I got to place you back into the scope of things. Bear with me a second. I realized that you had 2 charge effects on you, so if you rolled damage, you would have done 30 points of damage.
Oh my goodness! Wait. Let's go back in time and do that.
No. All right, your turn.
Okay. Over the goat.
There you go. Hit.
Awesome. And then we do the damage.
And of course, once you guys really get the swing of this, then we can get much more into narrative combat. But yes, right now it is a little mechanical, but that's fine.
Okay. So the damage went through. I can't really see the screen.
It did not go through yet. So whenever you drag the dice over your target, you want to hold it until you see the little tool tip for your target appear. And then that'll tell you whether or not you are ready to drop it. So you do indeed kill that poor little goat.
Awesome. Blood splatters everywhere. I can't differentiate the red from its fur from the red from its blood. It smears all of everything. It's like a Kill Bill episode. I have blood in my eyes.
That's how you get rid of a demon goat, you say to Zurich, who's sitting there gurgling up his last as one of the 2-headed dwarven or the 2-headed goat's heads turns towards you with a, oh no. And he has taken notice of you killing his brother. You have a second attack?
Yes, let's do that.
All right.
Okay, so closest one is this guy over here.
And it doesn't have to be the closest one. You do hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. Now, normally you wouldn't apply your bonus damage, but these goats have so little hit points, it's not going to make a difference. So go ahead and roll your damage. There you go. And that goat dies. Woohoo!
Sweet.
And the other goat head on the big 2-headed goat turns and says, "We have an opening."
And another one bites the dust.
boom, boom, boom.
All right. So anything else? Do you want to move it all?
Having mutton for dinner, guys. All right.
You will occur an attack of opportunity, which you probably don't
I
want.
will stay where I'm at.
All right. Very good. Next turn, goat number 2 goes, "No, they killed him." But instead, he's actually going to charge that crazy wizard down there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and he is still in combat with you. Although goats are generally not that smart enough, I'm going to make 5 there. He's going to be right between y'all as he tries to ram into the wizard who acid blast his friends. So let's see what happens when he hits. He will miss. Yay, and there's much rejoicing. And did I just apply? I did. I applied you that same effect. I need to stop doing that. All right. So, next goat attacks Tally. Normal attack. Whoops. See, I just dropped the die there and I didn't do it right. What is happening? All right, fine. So I think I see what's causing you guys to just to every now and then run into issues where it doesn't do what you're supposed to. All right, so it does attack. 17. Your armor class is 16.
Yep.
Oh, that's why it's saying that your token's not linked to the combat tracker. I see why. That's why you were having trouble.
Oh, okay.
Because when I accidentally deleted your token, it deleted everything else. So, yeah, it does hit you, drops the damage on you, and you do 3 more, or you take 3 points of damage. Whoopee, whoopee.
Am I at 1?
Yeah, you're at 1 hit point right now. You see you have the red icon on your character. If you mouse over it, it says you have heavy damage.
Mm.
All right, we have another mad goat back here, number 6, who will definitely run the gauntlet of little goat charging, as he will also charge into said wizard. And he will hit the wizard with the charge. This might hurt, Jax. You are wounded, but not badly. But you do need to make a saving throw. Don't worry about it, because I dropped it on you. And you do fail, which applies the prone effect to you. And if you look on your character now, you have a prone effect. So anything that attacks you will be at advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. Death save for poor Zurich. And another success with a 19. Man, you are not too far away. Just get that 20 and then pop right back up. Jax. And you are prone. So you just take an opportunity to stand up to get rid of that effect.
Okay. I can stand up and then throw acid splash.
Absolutely. Yes, because that's a saving throw. So you can just you throw acid splash. Woo. So
Okay.
Are you going to do those 2 goats there in front of you again?
Yep.
All right. They're targeted. Go ahead and do your spell.
Acid splash.
And they both save.
Oh.
I guess they saw it coming since they're standing right next to you.
Ugh.
All right. I believe that's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Giant 2-headed goat is now focusing all of his attention on poor Tally, who has just opened up a can of whoopee on his brothers. So he will charge forward and attempt to attack you, and will hit you.
Uh-oh.
This is going to hurt. Waboo boom.
Hey, Jax, what's your intelligence?
As you will take 10 points of damage. Ignore the instant death thing.
Intelligence is 16.
Well, I think it is instant death, because what's her total hit points? 7?
Yeah. So if you look on your character sheet, because it did the 10 points of damage, it did actually register an instant death. But, you know, I'm doing everything in the open right now. There's no way that I would ever do an instant death to a first level character in an introductory game. But I'm just
Yay.
So yes, Tally is down.
And
but
Jason knows otherwise.
Yeah.
It depends on who I'm playing against, I will admit. So, yes.
Mark has Fireball, the first level characters.
Not
To
first,
kill us.
you're like second or third.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you wait till y'all see one of the adventures I'm working on. It's about like that. So, yes, that goat just definitely rammed Ford right into poor Tally and hurt her bad.
I got a question about Jax's acid splash. Shouldn't that be against his intelligence DC?
I was wondering that too. Is his intelligence +2 or +3?
His intelligence is +3, so wouldn't it be a
DC 13?
DC 13?
Yeah, I was wondering.
What is it? 8 plus level plus intelligence?
Okay. I know what the issue is there, and that's a good catch.
It's 8 plus proficiency plus your modifier.
8 plus 2 plus 3 is 13, yeah.
8 plus base. I'll look into that later. It should be the proficiency, so his DC
should be 13.
Should be 13, but it's saying it's a DC of 10, huh? All right, we'll look into that a little bit later.
Okay.
All right, so.
Well, does that mean that goat is dead, or?
The
one that he hit?
You guys will kill these goats. I've got to save something for the poor guys that have been sitting back at the house. Glenn Smith, you are here.
Yay!
And Drivenmore, you will hear Werner come running inside going, please help us, there's ghosts running amok and killing everybody. So, Glenn Smith, you charge that poor goat.
And let's attack it.
Look at that. You've been waiting to do that all night, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
Let's
roll it.
That Warhammer all the way back of the thing. Now, you did 4 points of damage. It didn't target the goat just because you didn't drag it.
Oh, I have to drop it on it.
But I just drag and drop it on top of it, and boom, goat's dead.
All right, now I take that next step.
Ah.
Hey, you four eyes, come and get some.
They go, there's no longer just this one little bitty half-elf or halfling. Anything else?
No, that should conclude it.
Alrighty. Drivenmore, you see Werner come running inside. Everybody stops as Werner's panting. That's just totally out of the ordinary. And you do indeed hear him scream out, They're fighting! They're killing all the goats in the barn!
I dash out.
You dash out along with the parents and all the children. Going, whoa, what's going on? So yes, you do make it out through the door, and you do indeed see that there is this combat that has started at the barn. And you do see this giant two-headed goat that's standing off in the distance over the body of poor Tally, being faced off with Glenn Smith and Jax.
Okay, so I can get halfway there on my dash.
On a dash, that's 60 feet.
50. Yeah.
50 feet. Okay, so it's 300 yards away, or 300 feet away. So it'll take you 6 turns to get there.
Thought it was 100 feet away. Whatever.
It's 100 yards.
100 yards.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to take you a few. So, do you have anything special so you can start running? That's why it took the little boy so long to run here. He was doing a 100-yard dash in the middle of all this, little halfling kid.
So by the time you get to us, there may or may not be anything left to the halfling.
Yep, but it may work out for the best. So I'll move you up there. Do you have any speed spells or anything like that?
First level cleric.
First level cleric. But it won't. But next round you'll get within range of the spells. And you know what? Just for the sake of brevity, because it is 9 o'clock, I am going to say that. You know what? I said 100 yards, but you know what? It was really 100 feet. So just by the way things time, so it'll take you just 2 turns to get up there.
Thank you. I'd rather not wait another hour to get to the fight.
All right. And I'm personally, that's not DM's grace. That's DM taking advantage of the fact that Glenn Smith, who had the opportunity to run inside and say, "We need you," and instead he just took off running and left you there entertaining any of the
But
children.
I did yell out in Dwarven there was problems that he may have heard right when the combat started.
Oh, okay. All right. Whatever you have to tell yourself at night.
Now, I did go back and look at the text. I sent it in Dwarven.
Oh, you did? Oh, man. Yeah, you know what? I sometimes miss what's in text. So, yeah, definitely point that out.
Can I just get another attack?
So, yes, Drivenmore, you are running up there. Tally, it should have done your death save.
Did I fail or did I succeed? I have zeros.
All right. Go ahead and just do a death save real quick.
You just, okay.
There you go.
Those?
There you go. You succeed.
Yay.
All right. And that's because when I reset it, because that whole instant death thing, I had to get rid of that effect. So, off to goat number 5, who says, okay, we got that pesky halfling out of the way. So he will...
so beaten up on the halfling. Jeez.
Yep. So goat number 5 gets to have a little bit of fun. He's going to move over your body, prances like a little red goat that he is, prances over the top or passes the other one and runs all the way over here next to Jax Kirks. He doesn't get a charge in, which is always nice, but he will attack him and hit poor Jax. And Jax is down dying. And goat number 6 says, oh, we have a new friend here. He will attack Glenn Smith and miss. Boy, where has Glenn Smith been all this time?
Walking slowly, apparently.
1 failure. Jax, 1
Trying
failure.
to get like a TPK by goats.
It happens sometimes, but listen, it's not going to be a TPK. Hush up. There's no such thing as TPKs in my games. All right, giant 2-headed goat. Well, he's feeling pretty good about just standing right over the top of poor Tally there, since he can ignore you, as he also attacks Glenn Smith with this, as you see the 2-headed goat glaring at you. Be quite delighted at even more fodder that has stepped into his domain. And he will hit Glenn Smith. And wound Glenn Smith. He does it again. Ouch. And he will hit again. And after that, all that running with the Warhammer
And yay!
is down.
Can you use a bonus action on someone else's turn?
No, that would be a reaction. So, that was terrible. What's going on here? Stinking goats? No wonder everybody wants to kill the pregnant goat as soon as they see her. All right. Glenn Smith, a success on the death save. Drivenmore, you see all of your companions just throwing about this poor barn over here. And, of course, you notice that behind you, there's also B that's charging, and her husband that's charging forward, and the half-orc and some of the older children are all running forward, and they all have various instruments in their hands.
Are they coming towards him or towards the
They're
barn?
going towards the barn.
Oh, okay.
Well, if nothing else, this obviously tells me I just need to run like hell and leave you guys there.
Yeah.
Smart
You
man,
are there.
smart man.
Where you are.
Okay, so I'm here now.
Yes, you are here now.
Okay.
And you still have an action. I gave you a move action to get up there, and you are within range to do spells and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well then, this being the case, let's see, how's everybody doing? Everyone seems to be saving so far.
By saving, you mean dying
Yeah.
slowly? Yes, we are all diving slowly. Yeah. Mhm.
Awesome. Okay. Well,
Hit me with healing word.
at some point, yeah. Hold on. which to do?
Fight by Moradin's hammer.
Which to do first, for God's sake? I mean, I got 4 of you to choose from.
Hey, you don't. You got one. One dwarf. One dwarf.
Okay. Well, let's do a sacred flame to the goat first.
Alrighty.
That I thought I moved it over to the. Do I move the star over to it, or
No, I'll do it. Which goat are you attacking?
goat 5?
All right, goat number 5. All right. Driven more. Let me go to your targets. And I'm just doing this as a DM because I haven't figured out how to get players to do this yet. So he's targeted, so go ahead and do your Sacred Flame on him.
Okay. Which is just clicking on there.
Yeah, you should, for your Sacred Flame spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not in combat mode. There you go. Now you're in combat mode.
Okay. And what do I...
There you go. If you expand the magnifying glass, then you have this.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Cast.
And you can ignore that. That's just me rolling the dice to show you how that does. So yeah, you just drag that D20 to cast it over your target.
Okay, to cast... well, hold on.
There you go. Oh, no.
Okay, well then as my bonus, I will do Healing Word on Zurich.
Very good. Sweet.
Thank you kindly.
Is back up. Now, the map shows that this barn door is here, but with all this combat that's been happening here, those doors are swung wide open, so you can see Zurich inside there.
Okay.
All right. Very good, Zurich. All right. Anything else, Driven more?
Do I still have any movement, or am I done for movement?
You're done for movement because it took you
That's
this turn just to get up there to be able to cast.
And that's it.
Alrighty. I think that just saved the party. Tally.
Am I alive? Not alive. Yes, I'm alive. I have like 1 hit point.
Goat on top of you.
Goat. Goat number 5 goes, oh crap, we have a cleric coming in here. So he is going to charge right over the top of Jack's Kirks and charge this cleric that just charged up here. Attack the cleric madly and miss, thankfully. Goat number 6, he does the same thing. Meh. I guess that's not a goat sound, but it's the best I got. And he will miss also. Whew. Zurich. That big 2-headed goat does not know that you are standing up. Uh-oh. Is Zurich still here? Come back, Zurich. Come back.
Had you on mute, sorry. Now, I have 10 feet or 15 feet. Actually, it's actually 12 feet. Am I rounding up or down when I move?
No, your movement should be like
I'm prone right now. It's half my move to stand up and go and move.
Oh, yeah. So what's your movement then?
25.
25. So yeah, just you round down. So yeah, you stand up and then you can go 10 feet.
Okay. All right. So I'll move the 10 feet next to the big goat.
I'm not used to short people only going 25 feet.
And I say, I'm not done with you yet. But instead of attacking, I'm going to use the dodge action.
Very good. Full defensive, you mean?
Yeah.
Very good. I'll apply that to him when the time comes.
And I'm done.
Smart move. Look!
Hey, critical save.
We have a critical success on a death save, and Jack's Kirk is up with 1 hit point of healing. And you see that it did everything automatically, so he now is heavily wounded.
Outside? Jimmy.
Moradin be favoring us now, goat.
So what you gonna do, Jax?
I'm going to use magic missile against the
damn time.
You're going to shoot it into the darkness?
If there's a goat in it, yes.
He's going to catch the entire barn on flames.
So notice that magic missile, there is no attack roll. All you do is just click on that little blood.
That's what I'm using it.
Target.
Yeah, quick question, Shane. Can he split up the missiles, like do 1 on one goat and 2 on another?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I can. I just want to make sure to take out the big one, but
if you look at the magic missile, it doesn't combine all 3 of them. So if you look at the spell description for magic missile, it tells you how many you get. You get 3 glowing darts. So what you do as a player is you just drag that icon 3 times over whatever you're casting it at.
Yeah.
So you don't want to hit the big goat that's on top of Tally, because you don't want to catch her on fire too.
Yeah. My suggestion is you take out the 2 goats that are about to take our cleric axe. We lose our cleric, we have no healing, and then
Quite.
Tally will down.
Okay, fine.
Take the small goats out, then he can heal Tally next round, or this round.
There you go. To goat number 6, heavily wounded. You have 2 more. Nice. Goat number 6 is dead, and goat number 5 is now heavily wounded. Wow, he did a pretty good amount of damage actually, but I was hoping that you'd actually kill each goat with one of each.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. However, that was still very good. Good play. All right, anything else? You can move. You can stand up and move 15 feet if you want.
I'll stand up. That's pretty much it for now.
I'm going to move the map and just reshare it here, just to give you guys a little bit more room to move if you need to. So did you want to stand up and move away from there, or you're just standing up and staying there?
I assume I'm going to assume the big goat is going to go back toward the fire, so I'm just going to stay where I am.
Okay, very good. All right, giant 2-headed goat will turn its attention on the dwarf and attack with disadvantage. Ding. Wow.
That's the lower roll? Come on.
I'm not laughing at you. Like, dang it, that's always how that works.
He's not laughing at you, he's laughing through you, apparently.
Yay, he didn't kill you.
That's crazy.
Oh my god.
I got a 19 AC too. This is ridiculous.
So he will attack you again with disadvantage. There we go. Now that looks like a real... No. So yeah, there's a fun little trade-off going between you two as the goat definitely turns its attention to attack you, and you realize, oh crap, this is for serious, and then you really pull your shield out. So,
That's right.
All right. Glenn Smith, a death save, and we have another success. Driven more.
All right, let's move this over here, and we will swing at the goat.
Before you do that, don't roll your damage yet. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
So you hit. Roll your damage. That's what I want to see.
And we will also... I can move my thing over so that I can reach some people. Now I want to make sure I'm not healing the goat.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. That can't happen in this game.
Well, how does he get to Talia? She's underneath the goat.
Has the goat taken any damage?
You can target her.
Actually, no. I can move. I can move to. Let me move over there, I guess.
Yeah, and you can also you can drag your healing die over her her character's row in the combat tracker, and it'll apply it there too.
Oh, okay.
So if you can't see her, you can still do that.
Okay, combat center, the combat tracker. Okay, where the heck is the combat tracker? Let me get that up too.
Yeah, generally, you want to have the combat tracker and your character sheet open all the time.
Yeah, the problem is that it's they need to make these a little easier to maneuver through because it hides so much stuff. It's impossible to see.
Well, I try to shrink some of that stuff down too, Jason, if you can. There's the Windows errors, so it is tough, but yeah, you can shrink it if you try.
It is. It's almost like they made this game for 2 monitors, but you know.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's kind of cluttered.
Look at that. Awesome. Just in time, too.
Now, it says 8, but doesn't he add... Oh, he added 6, I guess.
Yeah, I added 6.
He has a max of 8 anyway, so... All right.
Woo.
So, Tally, you come to laying prone underneath the two-headed demon goat.
Okay, is there any way to get sneak?
Boy, who hasn't had that happen to them in the morning?
I know, right? I mean, it's like a once a
Absolutely
week
get a
occurrence.
sneak attack, apart from the fact that the goat has no idea that the halfling is now.
I am going to try to disembowel the goat using my daggers.
I will give that to you. All right. Look at that.
Great.
All right, let's roll some damage on that goat. Look at all those dice. I love that. It's almost more satisfying seeing it in here than you do in others. So yes, you do indeed disembowel the goat, who is screaming out in pain as its entrails are spilling all over your little halfling body.
That's awesome.
It is going to be a disadvantage for the rest of the combat here.
Okay, so the goat's not dead yet?
No, it's not dead yet.
So I get to hit it one more time.
What? It's not dead yet? So yeah, you yank out a few more intestines and slash into it even further, and it is now dead and dying.
And I'm going to try to roll out of its way so it doesn't like crumple onto.
Yeah, that's easy enough to do. So.
And by the way, I just noticed her sneak attack damage showed up as D4s, not D6s.
She did D4s.
No, but it should have been D6s. Should have been. If it's a dagger, it's 2D4 for the crit and 2D6 for the sneak attack.
Well, all she did was the crit. She didn't apply the sneak attack, or maybe it did. So anyway, yeah, you're good. You've killed this thing, and not only have you destroyed this two-headed demon goat, but yes, as the rest of the family comes running up to the barn to find out what's going on, they all witness the mother, the father, and all 12 little children carrying their little other children. Poor Tally, pulling out this thing's intestines, just stabbing this demon goat all over the place. There's goats slaughtered everywhere.
We're eating mutton tonight, guys.
B looks at you and said, "No, chickens. You were supposed to go out and kill chickens."
Goats, and we're having goats, so deal with it.
May I just say that I bet you guys are feeling pretty foolish you didn't go to the graveyard first, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I told you we should have went to the
You guys all congratulate each other because there was a moment when you thought that you were about to die, and then you realize, oh, dear God, Glenn Smith is still dying.
Well, give him some dwarven ale. That seems to do the trick.
No, don't hit me. What is this damage 1d4?
Oh, the dwarven ale did it. He rolled a 2.
All right, so yes, does somebody want to...
Why do I not have Spare the Dying as a cantrip? I'm a life cleric.
Yeah, you should. Just swap that out, man.
Add it.
Yeah.
But just do a medicine check and you'll stabilize him. He'll be fine.
Okay. Medicine. There we go.
Goat is goatee darn fool. So yes, you guys are arguing with the farmer and his wife and telling him the story of what happened. And Werner is luckily there to back everything up. The mother looks quite distraught, B, as you guys tell her what's happening. But the thing that she keeps saying over and over again is, well, Penwith, where's Penwith? Has anyone seen Penwith? And you do indeed stabilize Travis so that he is no longer dying. So,
little halfling is in need of a shower.
Well, let's take a little rest and then we go searching for this little laddie.
Does the cleric have a healing cantrip?
Nope.
Not a healing cantrip.
So
We need to rest.
Yes, you can absolutely take a short rest because obviously with the demon goats appearing in her barn and there's animals that are just freaking out everywhere, people are not feeling too good about what has happened here. But
Yeah, I want to investigate the barn before we do that, though.
B is definitely concerned about Penwith and is imploring, please find my son. Find my son. You can't miss him. He's a young tiefling, always getting into trouble. But But yes, go ahead and I see you're doing an investigation check in the barn.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm looking for any symbols or anything arcane or anything that would have triggered demonic goats on the ceilings, on the walls.
No, actually, you examined this barn and you don't see any indication. And you know that because you refuse to accept the fact that there may not be any indication. So you spend a lot of time to generate a 24 skill roll, but you don't find any indication that something affected this goat.
Nothing
But you do
behind.
also, in doing this investigation, you talk with B, and it's revealed to you that they were a little, curious because Jovi just turned up pregnant last week.
I'm going to run a religion check on the goats to see if I remember anything or whatever.
About the goats?
Yeah. See if there's I don't know. See if there's anything in religious text about two-headed red goats.
Nope, nothing that. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take any skill check to tell that there's some kind of infernal magic, just like with the old man on the road. There's some kind of infernal magic that definitely was interfering with this goat as well too.
When there's tieflings, there's always infernal magic.
I'll run a arcane check as well.
And you all agree that there's definite infernal magic involved.
Ah, this child, he is very mischievous.
And of course, as the words of the old man come back to you, where it says, "At first is the place where dandelions rise above and cover the people. The viral and the virulent," and I'm probably butchering that word, "can be one and the same. The hell-tinged one is lost, and then several are found." Those words come back to you again.
Okay.
So who's off to the graveyard? Yeah?
How about we move on to the red dye place, the beats.
We gotta find the little.
Are we
Just gonna leave the kid there?
Yeah, we're just gonna leave the kid.
He's obviously the cause of this. I want to hunt him down.
You know, we helped you with the goats. You're good now. The rest is on you.
All right, now keep in mind, if you look on your character sheet on the main sheet, you do have you have a short rest, you have your hit die that you can apply to your character for healing. And if you look at the very bottom, you'll see HD, and then there's a die type there that you can roll, and that should apply that that healing roll to your character.
Yeah, which I did already.
There you go. I love the fact that it's just there and it keeps track of everything. So as you do your short rest, Glenn Smith is the only one that's only at 1 hit point. He's not feeling too good, so yeah, he feels a little bit better now. Very good. And you guys are able to then gather your thoughts together. You calm B down, and you do take upon her quest to please go into the woods to find Penrith. We're coming up on 9:30. Are you guys good to finish out Penrith?
Let's find the little bastard.
All right. Sweet. So we're going to do what I call storytelling. I don't go like usually, okay, and Amanda and I were talking about this today, where we don't examine every blade of grass and every piece of flower that you come to, because that just gets boring. So you absolutely do head on into the forest in search of Penwith. You're given his description that he is a young tiefling lad who's always getting into trouble. So you expect the worst as you head into the forest. But it's not that he's, evil or anything. He just is very adventuresome and is happily involved in seeking out adventure whenever he can. So I'm just resizing this map here a little bit. It's going to be a little bit smaller than it was the first time. So as you head off into the forest looking for Penwith, go ahead and give me a survival check, everyone, just so you can kind of see. And this is a group encounter. So if all of you guys are able to beat a 10, you will find Penwith. I don't mean all of you, if more than half of you. So if 3 of you guys beat a 10 with a survival check, you'll find them. And that's normally how I would do this.
Wishes that she would have taken a shower, because she probably is attracting flies at this point.
Well, we did do a short rest. I gave you an hour.
Oh, okay. Why doesn't it not move?
Yeah, you should be good. So yes, you do pick up Penwith's trail, and you follow it into the trees. And it's about a mile-long trail that you follow the tracks of this young tiefling and where he went. Soon you arrive in a very far away pasture within the woods. And as you enter into the edge of that pasture, you round a thicket of large willows, and you see within the pasture what would normally be wizards writers have a grasp of the human language that is just far beyond me, and they like to throw in these words that my Booker T. Washington education just can't handle. So I will butcher some of these words tremendously.
Oh, they like to use the vernaculars.
Exactly, whatever that means. The normally bucolic setting is marred by a pack of wild dogs surrounding 2 figures, huddled together in fear. The larger figure is a half-elven, wearing leather armor and clumsily brandishing a sickle to keep a yipping, growling dogs at bay. The half-elf has his other arm around a tiefling boy, who you presume to be Penwith. Tears are in the half-elf's cloak, and you see that there's blood on his arm that show that the wild dogs have definitely been attacking him and been successful and mean business. So again, I'm sure that you guys aren't going to try to treat with the dogs or anything. We are right in the middle of combat, rolling initiative. So on the combat tracker, I've already got it. So again, we just drag in these fun the things that you'll see, and I'm going to turn these on.
We're not supposed to see that, right?
It's okay. I'm letting you guys see this as a GM screen. Normally I wouldn't, but I'm doing this kind of as a GM session too. Because yes, those of you that see that, you see that. Those of you that don't, you'll be surprised. But you'll know why I did that. So you see.
I still have a D4 damage effect on me, by the way.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And that's because when you did your healing, it didn't heal it all the way up.
No, I think it was from the goat before. One of the goats charged me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should be set because you did your. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Are you saying that you should be at full health?
No, I'm down 3 hit points. That's correct. It's just saying effects roll damage 1d4 bludgeoning. Remember we had that bug with the.
Oh yeah, that's because I did that incorrectly.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. Yeah, okay, you got it.
Oh boy, that would have been fun to do that extra damage all of a sudden. Appreciate the honesty there. Yay, 2 extra XP for you there. So as a DM, I always have to place you guys on the map, and that's easily done. So we have Jax, and I don't know about your marching order, so we'll worry about that in a moment. But I'm going to place you guys all on this little trail here. Glenn Smith, and the rest of y'all, you don't see the map yet. I have not shared it yet.
Okay.
So if you're wondering why you're not seeing anything on your screen, that is why.
Okie dokie.
And Zurich, who I'm assuming Zurich is going to be in the front. We didn't discuss marching order, but that seems to be what makes sense.
Yep, that's fine.
So now I'm sharing the sheet. I get my little icons down here at the bottom so I can actually see who is seeing this sheet. And this is what I described to you as you enter into the clearing, and there is indeed this half-elven warrior here they did not add into the encounter. That's a mistake on Wizard's part. Yay, Wizards. So I guess he's not going to help fight. How about that? As he's surrounded by these dogs. And we talked about this last night. You'll notice that the half-elven character, you can't interact with him. He's just there. So he's probably at the end of his rope. He's exhausted and not able to fight anymore. So, rolling initiative. Initiative, roll all initiatives. And we got a pretty good roll. Glenn Smith, you get to go first.
Haha, here we go. Wait. I'm not getting the little movement calculator.
I know why. Okay, try it now.
There we go.
I forgot to lock the tokens on this map. 30 feet, charge that dog.
Wait, no, I only get 25.
What? You don't want to charge all the way up there?
I mean, I'll charge all the way up there. I'll go.
Yeah, that's not very fast charge. I'm coming to you. All right, do it to it.
Arr.
I told you it took too long to get up there, man. That could have been pretty bad. Tally, you're next.
Okay.
And I'm going to advance the actors this time, too. If you guys aren't done with your turn, just let me know.
Let me move it to the other fantasy grounds.
I hope you're learning a lot as a GM, and I can't wait to see what you can do with this stuff as well.
Yes, and I'm also trying to help a player through the same. I'm multitasking.
No, I hear you.
All right, so what do we got? We got some wolves. We got this guy in combat. All right, so I am going to move up, and I am going to fire my short bow at a wolf.
Very good.
Yes. Should probably X out of the old map. I don't know why I have such a hard time finding weapons. Oh.
Yeah, it should. I haven't looked at your character sheet here. There you go. You have a crossbow.
I know, but where is it in my...
Oh, it's under actions. It's under actions.
Okay. Alright, so this guy's probably the closest, so we're going to go that way.
There you go. Easy smeezy. Hit. And surely these dogs are going to be a lot easier to deal with than those stinking goats. Look at that. Already dying. That's how it should be. Yep. And the dog disappears.
Sweet.
All right. And that's the end of your turn, correct?
That is... Where is the tracker?
I got it. I moved it forward. Go ahead, Jax.
Let's see.
George. It is kind of hard to see where the grid is on this map. And I'll show you that when I do my own maps. I actually put the grid on the map so you can see it a lot more clearly.
Okay, I'll target the two dogs on our side.
Very good.
And
look at all you got 4 dogs targeted. How did you do that, Jax?
I'm just that good.
Awesome. So which ones are you targeting?
The ones next to
Wild
Glenn.
Dog 1 and 3?
3 and 1, yeah.
All right. All right, go ahead.
And then acid splash them.
And did you fix the saving throw yet?
No.
Doesn't matter. They both got a 13 and a 22. All right.
Okay. They both hit?
No, they both made their saving throw.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Wild Dog number 1. Yippee, 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 yippee. Keen smell and hearing. What does that do? Oh, advantage on wisdom. That's not going to help in combat at all. So these are real simple. These are.
Hey, real quick question, because I know
Yeah.
Jason brought it up before. So, how is his Dex save only DC 10?
It needs to be changed in the, it needs to be changed in the how it figures it out. I'm looking at that now for the for my Sacred Flame
Yeah,
one.
'cause it looks like one of the dogs actually, dog 3 should have missed, and dog 1 obviously made it.
All right. So let's take a look at this real quick here. Oh, right here in the save it says DC 10 for some reason. So how do we acid splash? Something got mixed up when it's doing this. It's got a group DC ability 8 plus ability plus stat plus proficiency. Let's see if that makes it better. Nope. Next.
You gotta put on what stat it is.
Oh, that's probably what it is. So you're a wizard, are you?
Yeah.
We should go with base. There we go. And that still doesn't affect it. So let me just see what's going on here.
You click it a couple times and you'll see it change. See there, 13.
Okay. Let's do that. There you go. So now it's got the 13. So he rolled a 13, so he actually did make that saving throw. But I see what you're saying, though. It's good to get that in there so that we know what's going on.
So do I attack one of them?
No, they both made their saving throws, so it did not work.
Oh.
So wild dog number 1.
Yeah, sorry, I missed that. I saw the 11, and my screen cut off the +2, so I missed that. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Wild dog number 1, being a wild dog with a speed of 40, is all he really cares about. Glenn Smith, go ahead and take an attack of opportunity. Now, let me show you how you do that. Hold down the shift key and then make your attack on wild dog number 1. And it will apply an attack of opportunity against him.
Oh, I see.
And you hit. Roll your damage.
Do I have to hold shift again?
No, just apply your damage to it. Instant death.
Wait, why did it do
shift? It applies a critical damage. So that's just something you can do already. But, you know, you did 7 plus 2. He's only got 5 hit points. He's dead.
Yeah.
Wild dog number 2 says, oh, crap, that didn't work out good at all. He ignores the half-elf, who apparently is definitely on his luck, and charges the new people, avoiding the crazy Glenn Smith over there who just killed one of his dogs, and he charges poor Jax. Jax. Rawr, 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 rawr. The dog bites you. And for piercing damage, take 6. Wow, points of piercing damage. Rawr, 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 rawr. Wild dog number 3 says, I missed you with a 2. That dog talks. Wild dog number 4. Oh, we got some fun things going on here. We got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So he will get right up into the middle of both of y'all.
Does Jax hit him?
Jax can go ahead and take an attack of opportunity, absolutely. These are dogs. They don't really care about that.
Hold down shift.
Hold down shift.
And then click on the dog.
And then hold down shift, click on your attack die, drag it over the dog icons, so you get wild dog 4, and then release it. Oh, well done. Go ahead and roll your damage, but you don't have to hold down the shift because that makes it a crit.
No, my ears.
Ow, 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 ow.
So I...
Somebody has some squelch there.
So I click on the sword next to the die?
Click on the damage for the type that you did. So your weapon, so you're a wizard, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, where it says the 1d6 plus 2 piercing, you left click and drag that over the dog.
Oh.
There you go. Look at that. You guys are killing these dogs left and right. So the dogs at this point are going, maybe we shouldn't just charge past these guys. Zurich, your turn.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll move up to over here, moving around him,
Yep.
and then I will attack.
That's so statey, the way they just kind of go. Look at this. These dogs are nothing. Man, these should have been the first encounter, not those goats, man. Those goats are deadly.
And there you go.
Look at the dogs. All right. Drivenmore. Well, there's only one dog left that they've saved for you.
Yeah, so let's see how this works on him. What? How dare they? How dare he?
All right. Well, maybe I should change the color of my dice because obviously the green dice are just being way too lucky for the. So we're going to go with red dice for a little bit.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. All right. Anything else, Drivenmore?
No, that's it.
All right. Glenn Smith, it is not your turn. Because there's a growling sound coming from out of the woods as this huge dog comes bouncing out of the trees and attacks Jack's Kirk.
Seriously?
What?
Seriously. And then hits with a bite attack on the same turn. All right. So he will try to bite you. Roar, roar, roar. Oh, and he has running leap with a 10-foot running start. The wild alpha dog can jump an extra 25 feet. He's nasty. This thing just came bouncing out of the trees at you. Roar, 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 roar. And he Jax, you will take.
Oh,
Jesus.
oh God.
Let's get rid of the paradise too.
That's in one night.
As he just grabs you and shakes you back to side, and your body ends up over.
Bite your head off and eat you. He tosses your limp body in the corner.
All right, there you go, Glenn Smith. We'll come back to that instant death issue in a moment.
Jeez. There you
Look
go.
at that. Everyone else was like, yeah, kill the dog, and then all of a sudden this thing comes out. Roar. I think that dog is hurt, but he just yips out a little bit loud, but he feels pretty emboldened by what that big dog just did to that poor little wizard.
Darn.
That's just wrong. So many death saves. All right. Are you done? Let's see, that was
Yes.
Glenn.
What's the button for me to advance it when I'm done?
Yeah, I can advance it or you can, either way. But I'll just make it Tally's turn. Tally, go over there and save him.
Okay. Let's see what we got. Alright. So we got this guy over here, wild dog number 3. Is that the one that's taken that needs to be saved, or do we need to save from this guy?
Jax Kirk has been thrown to the ground and he is bleeding profusely out of many scratches and tears. The guy that you need to save is that half elf in the middle who is collapsed on the ground, clutching onto Penwith, looking at you pleadingly to save them both.
Okay, so is that wild dog number 3?
Wild dog number 3 is fighting Glenn Smith, but yes, he's also adjacent to him. So yeah, you can definitely kill wild dog number 3 if you want.
Okay, let's go with that then.
Oops, ignore that. Too many little icons in that one area there.
What?
And another hit. See, this is how you defeat those goats, is you take out all those little guys first. And wild dog number 3 is dying. The dog is not very happy. All right. Jax. A death fail. Zurich.
Oh, alrighty. All right, you big beastie. I'll take you on.
Do it.
Let's see, actions, and here we go.
Yes! There we go.
There we go.
That's how you do that. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah.
I thought that was a crit, man.
All right,
I
and
think you forgot
where's
to
my
force
combat
the
tracker?
nail on your battle axe, man.
Done. There we go.
All right, I'll help me clanmate here.
You just want to end your turn quickly there, Zerk, and try not to draw attention to that really, really poor crit, huh? And I'm done. All right, Driven Moore.
Bad all night, except for
Okay,
that.
I'll move up to there.
Driven Moore is never going to be left out of combat again. Roar!
Oof.
Ugh. Whiff.
Ugh. Ugh. Anything else there?
I think that's all I can do.
Anything? All right. Wild Dog number 2. Let's see, pounce. He doesn't do that. So he doesn't get his pounce attack, so that's nice. He actually gets pack tactics, but you guys killed all of his little friends before he could actually get into combat. So, high, low, high being Zurich, low being...
Come after me.
Coming after Zurich. And, yes, he is.
God, that's crazy.
Ooh.
That's crazy. I mean, it's only been 19 AC hitting me all night.
No, he's
Crazy.
not going to throw you over there, but... All right. So yeah, he's feeling pretty happy about that. In fact, he actually will pounce around and he'll move over here and just to get away from you a little bit. Glenn Smith.
All right, we're gonna move between them now, and we're gonna spank that bastard.
Or not.
I think.
All right. Tally.
Okay, let's see. Back to this guy. Can I shoot between them? I guess I can move over and then shoot.
You don't need to move. You can just shoot from there. He's big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You want to go back?
Sure.
All right. Attacking while out of ammo.
Good.
We just forgot to set your ammo for your character is all.
I'll get to add your sneak attack.
There you go. I fixed it for you.
Awesome.
And you do get a sneak attack.
Yeah, but now with a light crossbow.
So go ahead and roll a d6 just to add to that. Just roll a d6 by itself in the chat window. There you go. So 16 points of damage. So that other 4, I just drag on top of the dog to have it apply. Oops. I drag it on top of the dog to have it apply. Oh, it doesn't know how to apply for damage, so I just do it manually. All right. And the dog is now heavily wounded. Alrighty. Jax Kirk has a death save success. Zurich. Oh.
Uh-oh. 2 failures.
Ooh.
Driven Moore.
Okay, well, I need to take this guy out.
You need to heal me.
I've got no healing, boyo.
Come over and medicine check me.
And
There you go.
Yay!
And that alpha dog who was a little nastier than I actually took him to be, and that's even after you guys got rid of all of his help. You do indeed defeat the alpha dog, and there is much rejoicing. So,
The Wookiee.
yes, you then settle down. You've got Zurich that are dying. You got all these other things, but you don't. You guys can take care of them. You won't let them die. You can get to them this turn, and right? Do you have any healing?
nope, but I have spare the dying.
You have spare the dying. Is it a cantrip?
Yep.
And did you already attack this turn?
Yep. Oh wait, is there still other stuff going on?
Oh well, it's just because it's at the end of the turn. So the way that works, it goes back to Glenn Smith, Tally, and Glenn Smith could then stabilize him. Tally can then stabilize him. So you're good.
Gotcha.
1 second, guys. sorry about that. So, yes, indeed, you guys are able to stabilize everybody and everything is good. I was just showing you that, like, sometimes when you're running this game, if Zurich was actually be next, then yeah, it gets a little hairy. Since he has 2 death saves on him, you know how that goes. But we're good. So, yes, indeed, you defeat these wild dogs, and when you examine their bodies, you realize, yes, they are not exactly wild dogs. They seem to have just, again, been twisted by something foul and evil that seems to now be permeating this land. And as you travel through these woods, carrying poor Pinwit back, who seems to be quite shaken, and helping the half-elf, who, I'm speeding this along just so you guys know, who identifies himself as Beryl, who's an initiate of the Emerald Enclave. He's been training to be a druid, and he was sent by his master to investigate rumors that some of the local wildlife have been behaving strangely. He was tracking this pack of wild dogs when he found them attacking the boy. And he asks if you guys have encountered any other strange wildlife around here as you guys are escorting him back to the farm where you just killed a bunch of demon goats.
Yes, we have seen nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, if you do see anything, oh my dear God, what happened up there?
Pay no attention to all the guts and gore and the people going crazy.
Yes. You do indeed appear back at the farmhouse, as much rejoicing that Pinwit is there, and you return him safely. And Beryl goes, oh man, this is far worse than I thought it was going to be. But here, please, for rescuing me in a moment of dire circumstances, please accept this humble reward. Dang it, where'd it go?
Yay, loot. Loot is good.
Loot is good, but I had it up and then I dropped it and moved it. Please accept this humble reward. And if you guys look in your party window, you will see that he presents to you some alchemist fire, a potion of healing, and a silver sickle.
Ooh.
Now, those of you who haven't seen how this works before, y'all can discuss amongst yourselves who claims what, but when you claim it out of this parcel item window, it removes it. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the upper right corner of your screen is an icon that says Party Sheet. And if you open that up, you'll see like a way of just kind of keeping track of the whole party. One of the tabs in there is an inventory tab. And within there, you'll see parcel items where it lists the items that Beryl has given to you. So it's up to you guys how y'all distribute those to your characters. And all you do is just left-click on the little dragon icon to see more, and then move it on into your character sheet if it's something that you want.
Cool.
So yes, there is much rejoicing at the return of Pinwit. B, of course, is incredibly happy that you're able to rescue what is, she begrudgingly admits, is her favorite son, even though he's always, causing her to lose sleep at night. But she is, again, not without her means of being able to reward y'all as well. Apart from a very nice meal of mutton, whether you partake or not is your choice. But the six-fingered children don't seem to be having any trouble eating it.